I get a vibe of strength on the title of this track. I'm the Tyrant. Like, it just sounds kind of fun to say. Like, it's very emboldened and forceful. But I would imagine playing with the Frozen Crown genre energy, this is going to be... It's going to be a strong release, I would imagine. I mean, my previous 3 consultations of their work, because I'm a relative newcomer, to my experiences and my familiarity with them, though some of you, I imagine, again, outrank me in years, because Frozen Crown has been a name referenced in comments past, in regards to my music coverage, and granted, when they started coming in, I'd already started work on engaging with the music. I certainly knew I was going to. Going into, as I've been saying many times, the European metal scene, for a metalhead like myself, of course, it's the preferred genre of choice, but the European metal scene is just, metal/rock is thriving with names. And I'm so grateful that I took this exploration journey into new talents for, of course, me, but perhaps for many of you. As I've been saying for a long time, I'm trying to build out music as a presence on this channel. It's been a long-time aspiration since I founded it 7-ish years ago, or somewhere around there. I consult a wide body of art, if you're not familiar, from different entertainment styles. And each language is very specified according to its appeal and to its nature, but music for me very much is the first passion and love. It's been the one that's been closest to me throughout my life. And I love being able to experience that joy with you, if I can manage that shared experience in consulting good work. Frozen Crown is that. Dominant, I would say, in the power metal scene, especially among Italian artists, which I've not ventured to with as much yet. Maybe in the future there'll be more names that pop up. But so far, Frozen Crown and Volturian, I've had a great time to credit them as well. That's how I found out about Frozen Crown, is through the collaboration on In a Heartbeat off of Crimson, I think is the name of the album. Yes. With Giada Gianetro. Right? She came in and it's like, okay, who's this lady with her vocal presence? I gotta hear more. And so far, 3 entries in, I've been quite impressed. In regards to the family of groups that seems to be taking place among Scarlet Records, between Volturian and Frozen Crown, and I'm going to look into Be the Wolf as well. I think that's the name of it. If not, I'll correct that in post. They are also connected through the thread of their lead guitarist, Federico Mondelli, who has impressed me, not just in his riff structure and his variety of riff structures as well, because Volturian is more modern metal, whereas Frozen Crown is power metal. I don't know what Be the Wolf is. Are they new metal? I don't remember exactly. I forget. Anyway, I saw it in passing somehow. But his vocal presence as well amazed me. The energy to this group, the tune structures, the riff structures are just wonderful. They're highly engaging. It's a lot of fun to watch them perform as well. I mean, 3 music videos and I'm having a great time, especially when everybody gets in that headbanging mood, like as somebody who's very much more aggressive, skewed type metal fan. I keep it open doors over softer songs, as I'm sure many people do. Music is subjectively preferential, to be fair, in favorability. But, I do tend to lean more into the aggressive, headbanging type stuff. And when you get me in that mood, I'm like, I want to be there with you. And Frozen Crown, thus far, I've had such a good time engaging with their pieces. Like, I want to be there, waving my head around, even though, I don't have headbang hair. The band does, especially Thalia Bellazecca, who's got, one of the best afros I've ever seen, quite frankly. So, let's continue our journey with Frozen Crown thus far. Maybe for some of you, this will be the first entry with them, right? Maybe some of you, of course, are coming at this from being longtime Frozen Crown fans, and you're enjoying the perspective of somebody who's engaging with their work specifically for the first time, even though now I've got 3 songs that form a understood knowledge of them. Of course, you, I'm sure, outrank me in your familiarity, many of you, but you're getting the perspective of somebody who, again, is engaging for the first time. And I imagine some of you are approaching this video, maybe you've come across my work through another group, right? But you kind of go down maybe you like to explore on other artists as well. I cover a wide range intentionally, in part for this reason. You might stumble upon association from one group, you're like, I like them, but then you might go through the list of music I've covered on this channel, and you're like, who's this Frozen Crown entity? I've never heard of them. There's your point of entrance. If I can forge routes for you to explore new talents, I'm very happy to do that. And talents that deserve recognition, especially in the American scene. And I always share, just according to my personal surroundings, nobody knows Frozen Crown's name. I don't mean that to be demeaning. I'm saying my personal social circle has no clue about 99% of the artists I listen to. And they should, quite frankly. Anyway, I've always gone more into the metal and the alternative, and I'm like, there's so much more talent out in the world that you're missing. Maybe I can compel interest in part with them through engagement with I Am the Tyrant, as I'm sure of many of you. I'm sure this will be a great listen. Going on Faith of Frozen Crown thus far, I think we're going to have a great time. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the song, and we can enjoy this together for the first time. And if there's somebody that's not familiarized with how I format my coverage on this channel, I do try and accommodate listener taste to the best of my ability. So if you'd like to read along with the narrative of the piece through the lyrics, those will be provided in the video feed, and you'll see them pop up in a second, but they'll transition with the song as we navigate through it. All right. But maybe you can just sit back and watch the video too. That's always fun. All right. Now I'm sure we're going to be equally impacted by the song. Frozen Crown has been just so special to showcase and to perhaps build recognition to and new fans, right? They deserve as much. I know they've got a substantial fan base, but they deserve more fans, right? There's more of us out there that I'm sure will gravitate to them. I mean, I'm a loyal fan thus far. Only 4 songs in, I'm having a great time. All right, maybe you will too. I'm the Tyrant. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, it's kind of like Volturian shades. I like that background. The execution here fits with the scenery of the lyrics. Oh! That's strong. I like it. Good pacing on that. Good segue into the riff. It's a bit slower from past songs. Again, it's that foundational riff. It's more of a stronger presence here. I'm assuming that's Federico, right? I think. I need to credit to a guest artist if there is one. I think it's Federico. He's a special vocalist. I love listening to him, but the blend with Giada. Yes, it's Federico. That was beautiful. I really like the drive of the song. The structure to it is just, it's not as fast as previous works, but I just love the emphasis. Good overlap on that with the scream. Good points of entrance to Empire Giada. Wonderful. Love this song. And it's interesting they're giving like Federico, because I thought Giada would be taking the lead because she has the fast 3 songs. And Federico's played more of a background role, but I like this opportunity to hear him shine. He's a special vocalist. I love hearing him sing. Oh, love it. Love it. Higher twinge. Oh man, this song's got such good personality. Very vivid. Love it. My favorite piece of theirs yet. We're nearly in the end. It's just soak it in. Really good outro swing on that. Sounds like a bagpipe turned into a riff. I love the personality of this piece. You know, as I said many times, I look for works that are particularly individualized. And you start this song and you get this like fantastical vibe, like, okay, and it's very mythological. Like, I don't know, you know, I may be very exposed to European music. I'm not as familiarized to European history. Maybe I've been learning along the way to different facets, but this definitely has been like a historical, fantastical, mythological vibe to me in the storytelling, which is pretty grand. I like those choruses. Like, I'm the tyrant, crowned and fallen before the age of man. I'm the hunter, bound and rotten beyond the gates of hell. I mean, the opening line too, born from the depths and the highlands between the daughters of wind and the sons of the sea, raised by wolves in their hunger, I know the world's bloody end before the struggle began. Like, it's just such vivid storytelling, but then mixed with the personality of his piece, which this is different. This is a divergence if you're not familiar with Frozen Crown, and you haven't taken the journey with me thus far of only 4 songs, in context to Never Ending, In the Dark, off of Crown and Frost, and then off of this earlier album, Kings and I'm the Tyrant. Usually Giada takes the lead role, and Federico Mondelli, if he's bringing in any vocal presence, it's in the background, though he's giving them some chances to shine. Like I said as much with In the Dark, that because I was used to his work off Tyrion, where he can do a pretty good scream, as you heard here. I loved hearing him on this song. Good wavering. Like, he's not usually gotten that hype and inflection, and not for that long of a sustained scream either. I love listening to his voice specifically. It's Federico Mondelli is a very engaging talent. Wow. But he's never been given like a lead position in a song from what I'm familiarized to. And maybe a little change of time. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still making my way through Frozen Crown songs. I got a long list of ones I want to consult. And I'll get to. I'll get to them, I promise you. God willing. Hearing him in the front seat with this song and Giada taking the background role with the points of intersection between, especially on the chorus sections, like with the accompaniment of the Beneath the Dark line in the background, just wonderful. But the personality of the riffs, especially on the ending, it sounded like a bagpipe to me. Like, it was really weird. I'm like, it's much faster paced than ever bagpipe use I've heard. So like the song takes on a bit like a German or Celtic flair. Like, it was really cool to hear. I know it's Italian. I'm like, this is so different. From what I at least familiarized myself to thus far, I really like the structure of this piece. It's just so much fun to kind of swing along as well with the foundation. It's got a great beat, good rhythm, great effective pacing. But the mixture of riffs, the blend to it, the forcefulness. But like I said, it's just an individualized distinction for me that I find it sits in this really interesting place. I love I Am the Tyrant. I mean, just even beyond the name, it's a very strong song. And for me, I've liked everything I've heard thus far. In the Dark being my favorite. With Never Ending being a close second, and then Kings right after. This is now my number 1. I love I'm the Tyrant. That song is just so much fun. It really is. Maybe the order will change over time. You know, I don't necessarily like to rank things because my thoughts change all the time. So it's like, okay, you know, I'll like this song in a premiere manner today, and then I'll like this song later, right? You know, it's like, look, and then because then I'm like, I feel like if I'm ranking things, I'm doing a disservice to other good work. And I'm like, well, no, this one's kind of like a number 1 too. Like, I just don't like to put things in a ranking position, especially on a fresh glance like this. If I informally, this feels like a number 1 to me. Easy repeat listen as anything I've heard from Frozen Crown is. And the dominance, again, of the vocal styles on part of Federico really impressed me here. Usually it's Giada, right? And this, I'm sure going forward, well, of course going forward, it's going to be, you know, her as well. But Federico, I really like hearing him sing. And again, I'm still kind of fresh into my entrance point of Italian artists, but I've loved who I've heard thus far. And it helps, again, to have an association with the family trifecta, I guess, being Be the Wolf, again, I'll get to them eventually, and Frozen Crown and Volturian through the Federico Mondelli Fred. But I love everything I've heard thus far, and I'm the Tyrant is no exception. The individualized personality of his piece just sticks in my mind. It is so good. I love it. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. For those of you, this is going to be a first engagement point with Frozen Crown. I'm sure you'll have nothing but exquisite comments to say. And maybe not, music is subjective, right? I would imagine that the consensus is going to be, oh yeah, they nailed this piece. And again, from longtime fans, I'm assuming it's going to be the consensus. But from initiate listeners as well, where this is serving as a first introduction for you, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below as well. In regard, if you wish to disclose your perspective, as I said. How do you feel about this piece? And are you driven to look at more Frozen Crown? Because we will be in the future. I've got more pieces planned, as I said. There are more on the schedule, and they're going to become a bit of a mainstay name here. But, building out recognition, I like to do this if I can, to artists that truly deserve it. And Frozen Crown, in my opinion, deserves the audience that they have. And I consider it an honor to call myself a fan of their work. I've really enjoyed what I've heard, and I Am the Tyrant is, in my opinion, one of their strongest pieces. And a great visualizer as well, before I forget to mention, before I close this out. I like nature scenes, so that background plays well, especially on the color overlay as well, with the, like on the beachfront scenes, if that's what we want to call it, with the wind flying in. Like, again, it just blends really well to fantastical storytelling. It's great. The video is very tight in its delivery. It's enjoyable, mixed with a killer song. I love the personality of I Am the Tyrant. Great tune from them, as always. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.